G'day everyone. You may or may not have seen a video that I made recently when I was yabbying over at Lake Mudbug with these new open top lift nets that you can get from Victorian Fisheries when you swap over for your Opera House nets. Now in that video I was only giving the nets around about half an hour to an hour each time between pulls, and I was getting a few small yabbies. Well, tonight I'm playing the long game. I'm putting them in now on sunset, and I'm going to check them tomorrow morning and leave them in all night and see if any number of yabbies can actually become trapped inside the net. There's one thing that's not guaranteed. I can't guarantee that I'm not going to come down here tonight with a torch and check it, because patience isn't a specialty. Right, now there's my nets, and just like in the last video, I have got rabbit carcasses for bait, or bits and pieces of. I actually really like rabbit. I think it's a really good bait. Right, now I'll tie this meat into the center of the net. Rightio, 3 nets baited up and ready to go. One thing you will notice here is that I'm not at Lake Mudbug. This time I'm on a farm dam. Farm dams are where you often get the bigger white sandy coloured yabbies. Places like Lake Mudbug with lots of grasses and aquatic weeds and trees around the lake often have darker coloured yabbies, but yabbies away from trees out in the open tend to have more sandy or pale coloured yabbies. Now let's put them in. Right, net number 1 is in. Look at this big hole here. If that was made by a yabby, it would be a bloody big one. Wow. I might put a net there right in front of that big hole, just in case the resident of that hole is living nearby. Beautiful. Now you'll notice I haven't got my name and address on here. I've actually got them on little clamps, and I'll come and clamp them onto these sticks before I leave. I just think it's not wise to put that sort of information on social media. Rightio, net number 3. Do your thing. I'll put that one out a bit further. Hopefully that's a bit deeper. Well, they're all in about probably, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 feet of water. Wow. Just wow. Have a look at that. Tell you what, they don't call Australia the lucky country for no reason. Have a look at that. That's just so beautiful. I kid you not, I put these nets in 10 minutes ago, but I just can't help myself. I put them in, I sat here and watched the sunset. I'm just going to have a quick check before I go, just because I'm impatient, no other reason. And look, I've already caught one. Can you believe that? There's already one in there. It's been there 10 minutes and I've already caught one. Hopefully you didn't fall out when I threw the net in then. Let's check net number 2 after 10 minutes. But he hasn't got one. I was surprised the net number 1 had one, to be honest. Right, now I'll check net number 3 before I go home. Nothing. Right, so I caught one, but that's okay because they've been in 10 minutes. Literally, this one is probably not even that long. Rightio. As I said earlier, there's a chance I might get impatient and come and check them. It's 9:30, so they've been in for about 2 hours. or a bit under. Now where's the nets? Here's one. I just can't help myself. When it comes to waiting for yabby nets, I'm like a little kid. Now I'm going to put the torch in my mouth, so I might mumble more than normal. There's two in there. There's only two. Right, now put the net back in. Rightio, now this is the net that I put next to that really big hole in the ground, in the hope that I'm going to get a massive monster yabby. Two. I caught two. Right, let's check net number 3. One. I've bucked the trend. I've got one. He's not a monster, but he's the biggest one out of the 5. So the nets have been in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I've caught 5. All 5 of them are bigger than the ones that I was getting at Lake Mudami last week, but they're still not huge, but they'll do. Yeah. Yeah. Morning has broken. I'm not much of a morning person. When it's my days off like today, I normally like to stay in bed. I like my bed. It's funny how it's like really hard to go to bed at night. At the end of the day, you just don't want to go to bed. And then in the morning, I just like don't want to get out of bed. Let's go and check these nets. Believe it or not, this is actually my favourite time of the day. I love mornings. I just don't experience them very often. But I do love them. Right. What have I got in here? 40? One. Could be joking. That's a little bit disappointing. I thought I might have maybe 7 or 8 in there at least, but I only got one. Either somebody's been down here doing a bit of share farming, or there's just not a lot of yabbies in this dam. Oh, hang on, there's another one. There was 2 in here. There was 2. He was hiding under the meat. Well, that's twice as good as one, but it's still a little bit on the disappointing side. Number 2. See if we can get more than 2 in one net. Always seems to be just 2. Oh dear. That meat hasn't even been touched. There's no yabbies in it. There's no yabbies in the net. Not only are there no yabbies in the net, but the meat's hardly even been chewed. Wow, that's crap. Rightio, net number 3. Let's see how it goes. The other 2 are very disappointing. So is this, but look at it, nothing. Not a single yabby. You've got to be kidding me. And once again, the meat looks like it's barely been touched. That meat has barely been chewed. Rightio folks, well that's it from me. I left the nets in all night and I'm actually very disappointed. That was very disappointing. I got 2 yabbies between 3 nets despite the nets being in all night. I think this dam does see quite a lot of yabbying pressure. It's not too far from town, it's just on the outskirts and people can get here quite easily. And as a result, it's had a lot of people yabbying in it over the years. But still, I thought I would have caught more than what I did. But the meat was barely even touched. I caught one over that side of the dam over there within 10 minutes of putting the nets in. And I thought, here we go, finally. But no, that wasn't to be. It ended up being quite poor. It's actually been a really tough spring, yabbying wise for me. So many of the dams are really low. And this is one of the bigger, deeper dams that I go yabbying in, and you can see it's really, really low. You can see the high water mark around the edges. One of my favourite dams is about a kilometre that way, and it's almost dry. I went there last week and it's got 10 centimetres of water in it. And one of my other favourite one where I get the big black yabbies, that's almost dry as well. I think the drought that Australia is ravished by at the moment is really taking a toll on these dams that aren't fed by flood water. They rely on runoff from the paddocks when we get the rain, and we just didn't get enough rain this spring, this winter, or last winter, and as a result they haven't had a top up. I need to find a bigger dam. Right, folks, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. The challenge is real, but I'm not going to give up. I am going to find a decent dam with a lot more bigger yabbies in it. That's the plan anyway.